So I wanted to talk this day and this month and the next few months about a topic that I think we all think about and wonder about sometimes, and that's this idea and this concept of prosperity concept. It's this, to me, it's more than a concept, it's a consciousness, right? So, you know, we talk a lot in here about that the one thing we can change is our thinking. That the one thing that we are in control about in life is our thoughts. From moment to moment we can go, do I want to be having this thought or not? And we can change it. And that's what I loved about these teachings, why it just felt like something I was so aligned to, was that, you know, in life a lot of times we don't feel like we're in control of things, do we? You know, things happen and we'd like to control them, but they're really out of our control. But the one thing that's probably the most important thing and really creates our future and our moment and everything is what we do here, between the ears. Isn't it? You know? And so often we're not even aware of our thoughts. And I think that, you know, as we're on this journey, we're all becoming much more aware of our thinking. And that's a wonderful thing, you know, to just every moment to become aware and to look at what we're creating in our life and say, okay, am I on track? Is this what I want to be creating? You know, where is my focus and where's my attention going? And that's really what prosperity is, because it's a consciousness. It's a consciousness. It's what you're thinking. It's how we open ourselves up to allow flow in our lives. And prosperity, is prosperity just about money? No. Money's only one part of it, because money's really just an energy itself, isn't it? One day we probably won't have money. Pardon?
It's a tool.
It's a tool. One day there probably won't be these little funny looking bills. We'll just be doing everything by bartering, you know, and trading and doing all that stuff. Maybe. You know, maybe in my lifetime. Who knows? But prosperity covers so much more. It's about our health. You know, how prosperous are we in our health? And at certain times we're much more prosperous in our health than other times. You know, how prosperous are we in our career, in our creativity, in our joy? How much joy are we feeling in our life? How much fun are we having? That was Michael's word today, when he would tattoo in there. You know, and you know that's a wonderful thing to think about, is to look at all the areas of our life, right? So you look at your personal life, your health, your work life, your relationships, all of those things, and go, okay, where do they feel like they're flowing and they feel prosperous, and which ones feel like I need to look at what I'm thinking, or maybe to rearrange some things, or maybe I need to put more of focus or ask for more prayers for that area. Make sense? So it's an interesting one to kind of dive into. I like to give you stuff to think about and take away with you and practice, because this journey is practice. Spirituality is practice. You know, a spiritual practice. So it doesn't work unless you practice, unless you do it all the time, right? It's like it's easy to pick up a book and go, okay, that's really good, I'll put it down, and now my consciousness has changed. Well, yeah, maybe, but the other thoughts are going to keep coming in. So we want to keep working on that constant thing of looking at our thoughts, our beliefs, changing that stuff around wherever it requires that. So I've given you 3 steps today. There's a lot more, but this is the beginning. So this is like kind of Prosperity 101. Something to take away and practice. And what I can do if you want is email you this, so you've got it, because I just wasn't able to copy it before I left. So if you want me to send you a copy, just let me know. Okay. So we'll start with Louise Hay says, prosperity begins with feeling good about ourselves. That's an interesting one, isn't it? We don't always think about that. You know, prosperity has so much to do with how we think about ourselves, whether we love ourselves enough. That's one of the most important parts of being prosperous. Because if that's there, everything else flows from that. If that's not there, then that's where we start putting our attention. Make sense? So I like that one. She says, affirmations are like planting a new seed in the ground, and when all you have to do is, and then all you have to do is nurture and water it, and it will grow. So affirmations are so important because they start to change that thought pattern around. They start to plant in new seeds. Even if the little voice goes, oh no, that's not really true. You know, we just keep planting and watering those new seeds. So, step 1, looking within. So really starting from turning within. Looking at underneath it, taking a flashlight and going, okay, what areas am I blocking? What areas am I blocking the flow of abundance and prosperity in my life? And just being willing to flash the light and look at it without judgment, without criticism, without going, oh, when am I going to get it? Why haven't I gotten it already? You know, like that. Sometimes we do that. Anyone does that? You know? Without any of that. Just merely looking, merely going on exploration, because that's what we're here. We're on this journey of life that's an exploration, and we constantly get to explore and maybe find new things. And be with whatever's happening. You know, that whatever's going on in our life, whatever it might be, just to be okay. You know, what if we could be okay with it? Instead of fighting against it. To actually be okay with it. That's a concept, huh? You know, it's an interesting one. I was sitting with all this and looking at areas of my life, and there's certainly so much prosperity in my life, and I'm so grateful for where I live and my relationship and my friends and, you know, so many things. And the one area was really interesting for me. I was looking at my health. And that's always from the time I was little a challenge for me. That, you know, things would start to happen good, and then I would get sick. Something would happen, or, you know, since I've met my husband, I've probably had everything that could possibly happen, you know, from cancer to menopause to, you know, all sorts of things. And it's just an interesting one for me to look at. What do I have to learn? What part of this is holding me back? You know, what are my beliefs around being healthy and vital and all that? And I'm still sitting with it. But so there's always areas to look at and go, what are my beliefs here? So if there's an area in your life that you know could use more prosperity, that you'd like it to flow better, that you'd like to feel better in that area, maybe it's about yourself, feeling good about yourself, to really sit with, you know, this month, writing down, you know, what do I feel about this? What are my beliefs about this? What did I learn about this part growing up? Who did I learn it from? What are my fears here around, whether it's having money or being healthy or being vibrant or loving yourself or being creative or doing a job you really wanted to do, but something in you said, no, I can't do that, or whatever it is, dreaming big. Because these are all part of being prosperous. So looking at fears, beliefs around prosperity, writing them down, looking at where they came from, and then starting to affirm whatever you want to affirm in those areas so that you start to change that, so you start to vibrate differently around it. You all have heard this before, yes? That everything's a vibration. Everything, every thought is a vibration. You know, I love that idea of how water looks. You know, that Emoto, and how he has using a microscope with water crystals and put in the energy of words like love and peace and harmony and prosperity, and then words like illness and fear and guilt, and how the water crystals look totally different. You know, I've spent 25 years in healing, right? So that's been my main work, is doing healing work. And for a long time I did a lot with kinesiology, which is muscle testing. And it's so fascinating what you can do with how you can see what happens in someone's body when they're focused on something that's negative, and then when they're focused on something positive. So who wants to be my little demonstrator? Okay, good. Come on up.
I like games.
Come on up, Mel. Okay, face this way. And I'm going to use, is this arm okay? All right. So I want you to